WACT News begins now with breaking news.
And crews are on the scene right now of a chemical leak in Brunswick County. This is a live picture happening now at a manufacturing business outside of Leland along Jackson Highway, right before I-140, the interchange there. As you can see, hazmat crews are out there as we speak, and here's what we know right now. Crews just contained the leak within the past hour. They got out there about 8 o'clock this morning, evacuated the building. Alarms in place, alerted everyone early, and they were able to get out. Leland Fire Rescue says there is no threat to the public or the environment. No one's been hurt. We are waiting to hear back now on what chemical they think was actually leaked. We did some digging, and this business really happened where they are making raw material ingredients for cosmetics. Crews expect to be out there most of the afternoon now decontaminating the building.